is Melly. It's currently the 25th of June and I'm filming this little video to kind of show the process for the Disney Academic Exchange Program. But to start off, I'm just going to get up when I applied. I just finished my studies at Cardiff University studying International Business Management, and I applied for a Master's at Cardiff Met. They are a partner uni to the Central Michigan University, which is involved in the Disney Academic Exchange Program. So once I found out I had my offer, I then made my CV and cover letter for the Disney Academic Exchange Program, and I did apply through Yummy Jobs, which is like an agency that Disney used to kind of filter through so you don't go straight to Disney. So on the 3rd of June I did apply, and then on the 11th of June, so super quick, what is that, like a week after, I then got an email to say that I could book a pre-screen interview. I've already done a pre-screen interview when I did the Disney Cultural Exchange Program. I did that last summer, so summer 2024. So I got an email on the 11th of June, and here I was able to book a meeting. It was online via Google Meet, so I booked that as soon as I could, and my interview is actually next Wednesday, I believe, Wednesday the 2nd. I am going to be in Cyprus because my nan lives in Cyprus, but still obviously going to do my interview. It's usually quite chill, a bit of a chat, so I'm very excited, so come along on the journey with me and we'll see whether this video actually makes it out, and if I make it to Disney next year. I'm just about to do my Yummy Jobs pre-screen interview. I'm literally shaking if I don't hold the camera, but here we are. So we'll see how it goes. I'm currently in Cyprus and it's 6 PM in Cyprus, but my meeting is 4 PM UK time. I don't remember exactly when I last spoke to you guys, but I think it was just after I'd done my Yummy Jobs interview, which was, I did that in Cyprus back, gosh, I believe like the beginning of July. So during that interview they said the earliest I would hear back from them is the end of August. Basically 2 months go by and it's the end of August. I've heard nothing. Disney magic is so real, because back in September 2023, when I'd applied for the Disney Cultural Exchange Program, I went to Disneyland, California with my cousin, and when I was in Disneyland, California, that's when I got an email from Yummy Jobs to say, oh, you've been successful in your pre-screen, you have an interview with Disney. Fast forward to September 2025, I'm in Disneyland Paris with my Disney girlies. Yes, the trip made it out the group chat. I got an email from Yummy Jobs to say I've been successful in my pre-screen and I have an interview with Disney. I'll insert the clip here of me finding out. Let's just say I was flabbergasted, could not believe it.
So you were like sitting in that place, so you get to apply with actual Disney?
Yeah. I believe that was September the 3rd is when Yummy Jobs said you've been successful. On the 11th of September, so a week after, I got an email from Disney World who basically said, oh, you have to apply through our website now. So I sent off my CV. I can't remember if I sent off my cover letter again, but if I did, I sent the same CV and cover letter that I'd sent to Yummy Jobs, so nothing had changed, and I applied through Disney. Then it took months. Disney programs, I got an email to say, book your interview, do your role selection. So that was on the 24th of October, so kind of a time frame. The beginning of July, I get a pre-screen interview. I do a pre-screen interview with Yummy Jobs. Beginning of September, I find out that I was successful in my pre-screen interview and I have an interview with Disney. And then fast forward to the end of October, I find out when my actual interview is and like my role selection and all of that. So first of all, I booked my interview day, so that's gonna be, well, there was only one day you could do. That's on November the 19th. So they didn't give you much time for preparation, but I do prefer that, like less than a month, perfect. Do it, get over and done with, don't need to stress about it too much. In terms of my role selection, so the first option was the rotation role would be like food and beverage or merchandise or attractions. I clicked highly interested. I did merchandise on my cultural exchange program and I really enjoyed that. I'd love to do it again. And I've heard really good things about attractions, so I'd love to do that. The other section was food and beverage and CETA. Personally, wouldn't be my preference, so I did put moderately interested in it. Lifeguarding, I put like not interested or something, just because I can't save people's lives. Like, I can't do that. I'm not a strong enough swimmer. And there was two other options. There was vacation planner, character performer, and character attendant or like assistant or something. I put highly interested for all of those, but I don't think those are applicable roles to my program because we've never spoken about them before, but I still said I was interested, would love to do them. I now need to go and do some research about this interview. Come along with me. First stop is to get the train, so I need to leave in about 10 minutes and head into Bath and then get the train from Bath. I'm just at the bus stop. I've got my suitcase and the bus is 5 minutes away. I have made it on the train. Good morning. It's now Sunday and I'm in the car. My parents have just picked me up from my friend Darcy's and we're heading over to Hammersmith to go to the hotel that we're staying in, and then we're gonna go around London, have a look at the Christmas displays. So come along with me for the day before my interview. Good morning. So it's currently Monday the 17th of November. I think it's like 7:30. I need to leave soon to head over to the Disney office. I think we're gonna grab some croissants and a coffee and then make my way in because I want to be there as early as I can be. So fingers crossed it goes okay, but we just stayed in this hotel. It's quite messy now, but such a lovely hotel. So this is my outfit that I've got on. So I've got my trench coat from New Look and then this stripy top also from New Look and my Disney necklace. Got Disney jewelry on, all the Disney jewelry, and then these trousers are from Stradivarius and the boots are my mum's. I've just signed in to the dorms and this is what it's saying: full academic arrival date and departure date. This is insane. Last couple clips you saw was me in London for my interview, so I'm currently back. It's now actually Boxing Day, so the 26th of December, and I have a lot of updates, so I'm gonna run through them all. My interview was Monday the 17th of November. The interview process a little bit. Basically, I headed into the office. I think my interview was at, or like they said it started at 9, so I headed in about 8:30. A lot of people already there at the foyer. We were all just waiting around, and then Alexis from Yummy Jobs came. She took all of our names. We headed up to this like conference room and they did a little PowerPoint about an hour long, I believe, and it was just about the program, job roles you can do, the accommodation you'd be staying in, and it was very much, I think Yvette from Disney Recruiting was the one doing the presentation, and she was very much saying, oh, when you're out there, when you're doing this, and she did say, you know, getting to this point, you're about 90% of the way through the process. This presentation was very similar to the one on the cultural exchange program, with just minor differences with the academic side, so kind of like what you'll be studying, where you'll be studying, but that was the only real difference. Everything else was the same, obviously for the fact that this is actually a year-long program and not two months as well over the summer. So then after the presentation, we did get handed out some stickers, and then we went to this waiting room, and one by one we got called to have an interview either with Yvette or Javier, who was also from Disney Recruiting. There was like 20 people there, and I was like the 10th one to go in. So when people were coming back from the interview, they were like, oh, it was so chill, like nothing to worry about. And then I had my interview with Javier. He was asking a lot of questions about my previous program, very similar to the Yummy Jobs interview, the pre-screen one. So kind of like, what was my favourite part of the program? What did I struggle with the most? Why do I want to go back to Disney, and what would I do differently this time around as opposed to the 2 months I spent in there in summer? So I'd already prepped all these answers, so to be honest, none of the questions threw me off. He asked like what role I wanted to do, which I think they ask everybody. You kind of have to be quite specific, go in with the roles that you know you want to do, because they will jot that down. In the end, I did get the roles, both of the roles I said I wanted to do that were my top choice, so I'm really glad that I was kind of firm on that. Sure, you reassure that your skills are placed in the role that you want. So I knew I had skills in merchandise, and I knew that attractions would be really fun, so I kind of said about why I wanted to do attractions too. So merchandise is basically working in the shops, and this is what I did last summer. So it was quite easy to say, oh, I want to do this again because I did it last summer, it was so much fun. And then attractions is something new for me. I think you have more guest interactions and you have a lot more responsibility on you, especially if you're like park greeter. So that is why I said I would also be interested in that role. I think character attendant was a possibility, but they said they had very few roles. So I did bring that up, saying I would quite like to do character attendant, but it wouldn't have been my top choice, and I didn't get it anyway because I know the roles for that are very limited. Then after my interview, he was really nice, shook his hand, said have a lovely day, and then headed back to the waiting room to then get escorted back to the lobby and just leave. So my interview overall with Javier was probably 10 minutes. It really wasn't long. The longest time was just waiting around, which is fair enough because there's only 2 of them. I found out on the 12th of December, offered a role. My jobs would be merchandise and attractions, like I said before, so I was super happy about that. I didn't realise we'd find out what jobs we'd actually got now, because I think it's quite early. I guess we won't find out what park we're working in or like what specific attraction until later on, but that's super exciting, takes off the stress of, oh, what am I actually going to be doing for a year? I did FaceTime my parents, I'll insert a clip. I didn't even need to tell them they got the role, they sussed it out. And the first things you need to do is like accept the role, read what the role is, and then accept it. Pay fees up front, so I think it was like $440. Came out is like £330. So that's always nice when it comes out as less in pounds. And that's just kind of like the role fees for the program and your like first week of housing, because you don't get paid a lot for your first week because you're not working a lot, you're doing like training, so they already deduct the first week of housing. It makes sense. Obviously it's a big cost now, but it does make sense why they do it. There is a group chat with all the other people on the program, which is really exciting, and I've got their Instagram, so hopefully I'll be able to chat to some girls and we can plan to meet up before, but also fly out together. I think it's really important that you have someone to fly out with. Oh, I haven't even said what day I started. Okay, so I start on the 20th of July 2026 until the 8th of July 2027. So because you start on the 20th of July, you don't want to fly in on the 20th. You would want to fly, I mean, maybe somebody would fly in the day before, but it's Florida, so I'll probably be flying in like 3 days before, which is what I did last time with Grace and May, and it was honestly those 3 days, we didn't go into the park once, we just went resort hopping, and like some of these resorts I've never been to before, like the Riviera, just to grab coffee, and then going to the Polynesian and the Grand Floridian. It was so much fun, like we had so much fun. My program dates, it does say expected arrival 20th of July. So